Hi, you guys. So I'm going to channel Archangel Raziel today. And I received an email and they had mentioned this angel in the email, and I had never heard of this angel, this archangel, before, and did just a quick look up on him, and he's the archangel of mysteries. And I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm really curious to see what I discover. So I'm just going to relax here and get connected, and we'll see what comes through. Archangel Raziel is the name. Okay. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of density, a lot of weird interchanging images. It's very overwhelming for my head. I feel a little bit spacey and like cuckoo, cuckoo, like stars spinning around my head. I feel kind of dropped from a really high place. And my head is spinning. I fell on my head. I feel there's a massive black wall. I mean, it goes all the way up to the clouds and beyond, and it's a sort of a dark, stormy night sky. And as I'm sort of lying on this rocky, sort of grayish, soily, dusty, dark world, I'm trying to get my bearings, but I'm quite certain there is a door in this black wall, and I'm quite certain about it. But if I were to find this door, it's going to explore, it's going to do something, my heart is going to experience it. The door is at the foot of what is a very tall wall, black wall. And when I see the door appear, I trace it with my finger, and then the door, sort of the outline of the door disappears into the wall. And then the door actually moves into the wall, and then it opens up a really long hallway. I see the wall is not what it may seem. It's more like walking into a pyramid more than a wall, because it seems like it has a sanctuary space on the inside. Perhaps it's not a wall, maybe it's a cube or a rectangular prism, something of that kind. So the message is about finding yourself. And sometimes in order to find yourself, you have to take the pathway less traveled. Sometimes you conk yourself on the head in the process of mastering wisdom, and you find yourself alone. He says the master of wisdom is often alone. He says now we can understand how many people are choosing to be masters of wisdom, but then he laughs and says, masters of wisdom are always alone. So how would we ever know the answer to that question? He loves people who seek wisdom, absolutely loves it. And he does have a bit of a terrifying side, but it is also extremely warm and welcoming. He reminds me a lot of my higher self, the snake emanation that comes from a part of my higher self, which is quite nasty and terrifying, but yet absolutely loving, like a mother, like Mother Earth even, like unwaveringly loving, but absolutely will bite your head off in the process of helping you conquer yourself, will challenge you. He's also this way. It doesn't feel like many people talk to him, and it doesn't feel like he needs to be recognized. It's if you find yourself traveling to his realm or domain, then you are sort of meant to, as sort of a key or a beckoning, to find yourself here. So you would only talk to him if there was something that inspired you to talk to him. So it's kind of fascinating because I was sort of beckoned to talk to him in a way because I received an email, and I thought about him ever since I received the email, and now decided to channel him. He asked me why I have not entered into his home yet. I say, I guess I don't know why. Sometimes I don't know that. I don't know why. I just feel like sitting down right now at your doorway. So I'm going to do that. He likes that answer. Because as I spoke the answer to him, I showed him, why don't you move your home around me? Why do I gotta make my way into your home? There's something about transitioning, or like creating a revolutionary door where he could just move the wall, so I'm just sitting in the sanctuary. There's something like this. He shows me something quite difficult to look at. It's lots of corpses, and they're being eaten by very unusual insects. There's a really nasty scent, really nasty smell here. And I say, this is quite a domain you have. It's kind of rotting and gross. He smiles at me, and he emanates himself as an angel with black wings, which I've spoken to an angel with black wings, and I made 3 videos about it. I'm examining what I think about that. What am I supposed to make of that? I am inspired to pluck out one of the black feathers, and I create a black liquid, and I put it into the black liquid, and it starts to burn in acid, and it creates a scent. And then I take this concoction, and I smash the bottle on a table. And there's a lot of anger and aggression here, and I see a swarm of black crows just flying everywhere. And I see this space is very peculiar sort of dimensionality to it. It's very peculiar shapes that create it. What would be a triangle, a square, and then a triangle creates this sort of sanctuary space. There's also a very dark portal that opens up, and then he shows me also what are stars, like not just the triangle, box, triangle, but also to create like triangle or boxes and then triangles to create kind of like a cross or something. And it's very, I will tell you, Archangel Raziel is emanating a space that is very gross to me. It's very overwhelming for me to be in here. But I also understand that we're explorers, so I just accept it as it is, and choosing to explore my relationship here, not based on what I see, based on what I'm experiencing, but I don't just judge immediately. I've got to actually go through the understanding. So, gosh, it's like, oh man, the density. And there's like a really awful black spiral that goes down, like a tornado that goes straight downward beneath what is like a pyramid, a black pyramid. I don't know why I'm inspired to just change this pyramid into white and change this black tornado into white. Just as a human being, we resonate white light as purification, and dark is sort of demented. So I'm just going to emanate that and just see what happens. And then I just fill this tornado with loving vibrations and white angel feathers. I see that I see him a little bit differently now. He's an angel that's been really, really hurt very badly, and he's been tortured basically. His wings are ripped to shreds, his skin is burnt, his eyeballs are like washing down his face. It's very disturbing to look at. there's just constant echoes of the knife going, stabbing him in the heart over and over and over again. And a part of his soul screams in a black spiral of torture. And spirals can often emanate what is a life cycle, and a life cycle for a soul, which there's millions of life cycles, and it could include millions of lifetimes, is such an infinite thing. So his soul is still experiencing a life cycle or a timeline of healing through all of this. But God, he's been ripped apart. He smiles at me that I could still stand before him and still see all of this chaos and still stand here and love him as he is and not run away screaming, say I'll never talk to you again. He says again, walkers of wisdom are often alone. He shows me what is lots and lots of human beings who would not dare to come into such a space, and they would all do the exact same thing. But I am an unusual one that would walk in and actually try to understand. And that's what sets me apart from the rest. I say I'm only a role model for others. And I'm here to help other people know that there's nothing to be afraid of in the spirit realm. And we got to stop judging. And we got to stop screaming and running away. And we got to stand firm. So in that way, I'm manifesting all these wisdom walkers that walk in groups and crowds all the way across the planet, from the North Pole to the South Pole and then some. 8 billion versions of wisdom walkers. And we all walk hand in hand. And we all stand by each other, and we all stand by love. He shows me a man who is packing a cigarette, and then he packs it enough that it actually was open, and one of the cigarettes comes out. He takes the cigarette and starts to smoke it. He's kind of a man made out of ash. He shows me that this place has many pathways, but there's 4 in particular, which would be northeast, south, and west, if you wanted to look at it that way. But there's no such thing as northeast, south, and west in an infinite universe. You can go in any direction you want to go. All these doors are closed. I heard them, every single one, slam, 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 slam. I see the inside of this space is becoming more like an extraordinary star and like an Epcot center type of actual center, so a rounded orb, but it's got all these little triangle type parts of it on the inside. He's sitting at a table smoking and looking at me. He asked me if I would like a smoke. Oddly enough, a version of me does start to light a cigarette. And I tell him, but I just don't resonate with that. I'm just not choosing to put poison into my body. I tell him, you can have this one too. In a way, I guess I was just lighting it for you. I just set it into the ashtray, so when he's done with this cigarette, he'll have another one ready to go. He's not... I'm still waiting to see what is the lighter side of him, but I'm not there yet. He is an archangel. At least he is defined as one. I don't feel like he is my teacher by any means. As in, I don't feel right now, it's like I actually came here because I wanted to experience something extraordinary, as in something enlightening, But I come here to find a broken angel smoking a cigarette and showing me the tortured spiritual journey. And talking about wisdom is something people do alone. It's just like, I don't feel like I'm really receiving something special here. I say, I think I'm just gonna go now. I just choose to leave this place. And I walk beyond the wall, and I just walk out into the middle of a dusty place. I want to see what is over here on the other side. There's an invisible wall I walk through. It's just, there's some sort of mind game about it, because it wants to be beautiful, it wants to be tropical, it wants to be full of birds, but it's just not. So let's see here. That's all I can say about that. Everything is just fading out and becoming zero. There's really nothing else to say about that. Kind of disappointed. But I don't know. I guess it's up to you to decide. I did discover this archangel is somehow associated with like Jewish Kabbalah mysticism. I can't keep up with all the religious names out there. But I will say that I cannot emanate, I can't seem to see the light side of him right now. And I see so much of the pain and the suffering that his soul has been through. And he's a soul, you know, he's an archangel, he's a soul, he's an angel, he's been ripped apart along the way. And I actually can't experiencing the healed side of himself. So that's all I can say about that. This is not me encouraging anybody to, you know, you got to make your own decisions. If you really feel a connection with him on a love level, then, I mean, by all means, you got to follow your heart. But my soul in this journey did not experience that. And so I don't really have anything else to say about that. When I went to visit an angel with black wings, before I went to a dimension that was actually cut off, because this angel had, which I really liked this angel a lot. I mean, this angel has made such an impact in my life. I still think about this specific angel. That he was born to consume. So in another version of a universe, another timeline, he literally found a way to consume every single soul in that entire universe. How long did that take? We don't know. All I know is he lives in that universe all by himself. And there's nothing that can be done for him, because he himself feels at peace with his identity as he is. So his identity is the consumer of souls. And he doesn't want to be anything but that. He's at peace with that. And he would tell you, the one thing that he told me that has always stayed with me is that there's always good and there's always bad. And sometimes good things feel kind of bad, and sometimes bad things feel kind of good. But in a way, I am both the good and the bad, and I'm at peace with as I am. He says it's very good what I had done, but it's also very bad what I had done. So how could you really define it? It was both good and bad, and I'm at peace with that. And so he's totally cut off in the universe by himself, and he's basically just there. It's weird. I mean, I'm telling you, souls are extraordinary things. And so we just accept them as they are, okay? All right, I'm going to stop there. All right. If any of you are interested in a one-on-one psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I wish you all a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.